you very much.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you very much. Sending and delivering the message from your other I am brothers and sisters.
Yes.
So
Doing a great job as well.
thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. That's very respectful of you to take care of our flag.
Beautiful flag.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so, our roads.
Well, the roads were okay. I was posting conditions. One area is cold. One area is snowing.
Right.
So other than that, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. Yes. I saw when we were parking, you were sitting there. Were you waiting for us?
Yeah, I was in my truck there.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yes, it was.
I didn't know how you were going to do this. I didn't
Right.
know what the protocol was.
Well, usually it's outside, but then since there's only, what is it? The group of you.
Yeah.
The group of you.
Army of one.
So exactly, a group of one.
Yeah.
So we figured we would invite you in.
Well,
So thank you very much. We're
I'm
in the
pretty
middle of
fortunate.
having dinner. Not having dinner, preparing dinner.
Yeah.
But one thing I've noticed is that when you came out of your car or of your truck,
Mhm.
you were holding our flag. So that's why you caught me. I said, "Hey, there's a man respecting our flag.
Yes.
I haven't seen others, carrying a
I want-
flag with such care and respect.
Hmm.
Thank you.
I wanted to
Thank
make
you.
sure that it was right side up
Thank you.
as well.
Thank you so much. Your name?
Trent.
Trent. There you go. Trent. Do you live in the area?
I live in Bishop Falls.
How far is that?
It's probably 15 kilometers.
Oh, wow. Did we pass that?
No,
No.
you're about to.
Oh, we're about to.
Yeah, I was kind of. I gotta be honest. I parked on the side of the road down there
Yes.
because I was kind of following the updates.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So it's like I don't know where they are, but maybe I might see them pass by or
Mhm.
whatnot, right?
Yes.
And then then you updated and said you were coming to Grand Falls. So,
Mhm.
so I just drove up.
Awesome, because I was reading some of the comments, and then someone said, "Oh, so disappointed you didn't pass by Grand Falls."
Yeah.
What is it, Windsor? And then I looked and I go, "Hang on, have we passed this town?" And then some of the team said, "No, actually, we're 28 kilometers away yet." So I decided, okay, we're going to come into Grand Falls.
Well, I'm glad you did.
So, yes. Yes.
I've been sort of. Well, I've been obviously following on Telegram, so
Yes.
and now I'm sitting in your RV.
I know, eh? Did you ever
So,
imagine
yes.
meeting me in person? Because the decision to come and go around Canada
Mhm.
was literally instantaneous. The minute I got a download, and I said, "Okay, we're going."
Wow.
But days before that, there was absolutely no plan. These guys were like, "Okay, so now it's the 29th and we're leaving on the 1st." And then I'm like, "Yes, we're leaving on the 1st." They had no idea
Mhm.
how we were going to rent the RV and even the signage, but it all came together
It's
just
amazing.
like that. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah,
And I was
it
like,
really is.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Ottawa was pretty wild and amazing too.
Yes,
I followed all that, like all the ceremonies and
Right.
whatnot that took
And-
place there.
and the
With the
burning
flag,
of the
yeah,
flag,
yeah.
yes, or
Yeah,
their
yeah.
flag, yes.
Yep. And I
Awesome.
totally understand that.
Yes.
You know, that resonates. I guess would be the word, yeah,
Yes.
with me.
Well, it's quite interesting to see how many people are awake and are aware of what's really happening versus what they see on television.
Yeah.
And then on one side we have a group of people that are aware of who Queen Romana is,
Mhm.
but is resisting
Mhm.
because they think I'm yet another monarchy or
Yeah.
another monarch that will rob and take everything away from Canada. And
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like I have family members that didn't really understand that burning of the flag, right?
right, yes.
So, well, like you got to use your own intuition here,
Mm.
and you know, that happened.
Mhm.
So you gotta ask the question why, right?
Right.
And just try and come to an understanding as to what happened there.
Well, what happened there was that the corporation flag that represents the blood and the corruption, tyranny, and oppression by the corporation government, led by the fake Queen of England, and all of that oppression, what have you, was done with her authority and permission, done by the politicians representing her in Canada and including all of her supposed governor generals. That flag, although we had our militaries fight under that flag was a corporation. It wasn't the flag of we the people. It was the flag of a foreign monarch, didn't even live here, was taking all the money from we the people via taxes, and of course all of the natural resources of Canada was being hijacked and sent overseas or sold overseas. So when I burnt the flag, that was not to disrespect the we the people, it was not to disrespect the military or our veterans, it was to symbolize the end of tyranny, the end of the corporations' illusionary rule and government in Canada, and to at the same time make people aware that now they have a real monarch that has done all the heavy lifting with the alliance, the military alliance around the world, to liberate Canada from the communist military, communist Chinese military that was brought in here by both the conservatives and the liberals and everybody else in between. They were all in it together since 1970s, when the first senior Trudeau recognized China. He was the first to recognize communist China's government. So that's how it all started. So that's how I burnt the flag, was to symbolize the ending of the oppression and corruption in Canada, and at the same time to let everyone know that there is a new queen, and that my rule in Canada is being enforced and will be enforced, being supported by the United States Armed Forces, and whether they like it or not, I'm here to stay, and I'm here to work with the people and make sure that we the people now have the help that they need, instead of just lip service that has been done for decades in this country.
Why would someone resist that? You know?
Exactly. Are you going to resist not having taxes?
I know.
Are you going to resist not having to pay utilities? Right? Are you going to resist having your families and schools be controlled by the parents rather than the school boards that have no idea are controlling the children, what they're learning, especially with the race theory, the LGBT that they're doing? So who's going to resist that? Who's going to resist someone who removed Chinese military from Canada? So unless one is a traitor, unless one is part of the Chinese Communist Party or is being paid, then that would be the people who would resist my reign in Canada.
Yeah.
And at the same token, whether they resist or they join, I'm hoping that they join as quickly as possible. But if they resist, the U.S. Armed Forces will enforce and reinforce my reign in Canada, because the old system is finished. The old fake queen is done. And Justin Trudeau and all of their groups and their minions, they're finished. They're simply prolonging the inevitable as far as what's happening in Canada. So that's why I burnt the flag. That's the reason I burnt the flag, was to symbolize the ending of tyranny of we the people in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And also our flag is not only actually just the Kingdom of Canada's flag, but because we are the first country ever now on planet Earth to honor our fallen soldiers and veterans in serving military. This flag is now known as the Freedom Flag, agreed upon by all the commander-in-chiefs around the world, including myself. That's why you will see purple all over these purple buildings, purple windows, because it symbolizes, and it's not just in Canada, in the US and around the world, purple is starting to pop up to represent freedom around the world.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, and I'm not quite sure if you've read some of my posts, but
Yes, quite a few. Yeah.
yes, yesterday or last night I've announced that I'll be touring the United States after touring Canada. Perhaps you have some idea as to why the head of state of Canada is touring the United States, all 50 states and their territories.
Yeah.
So you're excited? Yeah, go ahead.
You're asking me if I understand that? Or?
Yes. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been following your work,
Thank you.
and I don't even know where to start there.
Start wherever you feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
you know.
Don't worry. You know, I'll stand. I'll
I
sit.
understand this has been a worldwide operation, and
Yes.
I don't know, with all the Commonwealth countries under the Queen, where do they go next?
Yes.
That's a question that you would ask, and then it makes sense to me, like the things that you are saying,
Yes. Well, the 54 Commonwealth countries are now gone. There's no more Commonwealth. And I have 157 countries that are under my care and guidance. There's more, actually. They've added more. So it seems that your head of state and commander-in-chief and queen is helping many countries to guide them. And many are asking if Queen Romana is also Queen of the world. I will allow the public to decide based on what they see I do for not only Canada but the United States and around the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you have been following what's happening in Ukraine and my videos, I've been explaining that there's no war, there's no invasion in Ukraine. Russia Special Forces is supported by us, the NATO alliance, which is a separate group from the old NATO that used to perpetuate war and go and invade other countries and create fake wars. NATO alliance is the alliance of the White Hats, and so I've invited President Putin into that group, and I have asked our NATO alliance to back away from Ukraine, so they've pulled our troops all the way to Poland and Hungary and Romania, that area, to allow President Putin and his forces to do the cleanup, because I said specifically that we are removing the head of state, deep state president of Ukraine and the government of Ukraine. So I was very specific in that. So that's what's happening, contrary to what the media has been portraying, with all their crisis actors and movies that they're creating to try and terrorize and continue to manipulate the public around the world, just so they can start a war and then blame it on Russia, which we will of course not allow. At the same time, the other night I have put Canada, the Kingdom of Canada, and the US under DEFCON 1.
Saw that, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you saw that.
I was
Yes.
surprised by that. But
That's after knowing that I knew that there's a small pockets of the European countries, the deep state ones, still run by deep states, and they may have access to nuclear weapons or close to it, and of course they're attacking Russia, and so Russia put up increase their security and anti-nuclear defense system and alerts. So just to match that also, I had placed, because we don't know whether the small deep state group will actually start nuclear war and blame it on Russia. So just as a precaution, I had placed also Canada, and the United States was already in high alert anyways. So put both our countries in DEFCON 1. So that's what's happening. But as far as Ukraine, there is no invasion there. President Putin and his special forces have our blessings to go there and clean up.
right.
And
I see that, yeah.
yes, so that's as I said, that's contrary to what is being portrayed in the media. That's, if anything else, that's the last weapon the deep states have, is their media.
Yeah.
You know, to try to continue to manipulate the public around the world.
Yeah.
But they're losing, and we've already won. And as I said, we've already removed the communist military from Canada, because prior to that, Canada was being run from Beijing. And little that people knew, we were in fact under, before I stepped up, we were in fact being run from Beijing. And the United States thought that the enemy was far, but I said no, actually the enemy is right next door, in front of your doorstep, and we have to bring back our troops and special forces to clean up Canada. And that is why we found out that there were so many Chinese military. Most of them were clones. They were being shipped into Canada, and they were being prepared to launch an attack against the United States. So really, Canada, in reality, is the one that saved the entire world from falling. And that's why the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, I quoted when I was in Ottawa, saying that Queen Romana is the only one that stood up for Canada and Canadians and made sure that Canadians were not forced to learn Chinese, which was basically saying she's the one that got rid of the Chinese military. And so that's where we are. I have been at this work for decades and decades, ever since I was young, as part of my family, and working with the White Hats. And at the same time, I had to remain anonymous for safety reasons, and for my family safety reasons. And many of us have had to go through that process because we were hunted. The true royal families were hunted around the world by the bankers when they installed their fake monarch. So
The Romanovs?
eh?
Like the Romanov family?
Yes, exactly. Same story.
Wow. It's a lot.
It's a lot to
take in,
process.
yeah.
Yes.
And I've been sort of on this journey for quite a while. A journey, I suppose they call it. But I've been trying to understand what's going on in the world for a long time.
Well, I'm pleased to see young people like you really trying to have an understanding of what's happening and to realize that something's wrong with the country and the world itself and what we've been taught all this time, even our parents and our grandparents.
That's right.
Right, so complete illusion, and we're now shattering that. We've shattered that illusion. As I said, the leftover, the remnants of the dark energies are trying to hang on to whatever power they have left. So they're just prolonging the inevitable. And I had issued martial law back in February 5th to allow for our special forces and U.S. special forces to do the arrests of the remaining bad guys in Canada. Yeah. But the heavy lifting, you should know, is finished.
Yeah. I know, I feel like, I don't know, in the past 6 to 8 months maybe, it started to, I don't know if everybody must have felt something inside themselves as to what was going on into the world. I know I did.
Right, yes.
And it seemed to lighten a little bit as we went on. And
The energy, yes.
yeah, and I'm grateful for that. So I hope that continues.
It will continue, and that's the only energy that we will have, is to remove all of the dark energies and make sure our children are no longer taxed to death before they even
That's right.
are born. And
Is there any other last questions? 'Cause it's
Yeah, I don't want to keep it too long. The weather is
yes.
not the
Did we
best.
sign that?
Yes,
Yes.
love for you too.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't know if I would be, or who would be here, but I was waiting on the road for just to honk my horn as I drove by. But I didn't expect to be sitting in the.
We're trying to watch for you guys on the road.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I was out and somebody knew that I supported
Thank you.
you.
His parents are waiting for us, are hoping to see us.
Yeah, my parents are following along as well.
Oh, yes?
And
Where are they at?
they're in Bishop's Falls too, and they're heading to St. John's. My sister's out there,
Okay.
so they're gonna be there on the weekend. So hopefully they might get a chance to connect
Good.
with you.
Trent. To Trent.
And I'm a little, it's kind of nerve-wracking for me to meet all you guys. I've sort of
No
been
worries.
held up in my house for the last while. I've been off work and whatnot, but so
glad
yeah,
to
no, it's
see
great
you.
to meet everybody. Yeah,
Definitely.
and it's good to get out and socialize.
Yes, exactly, right?
no mask.
No mask. Yeah, well, I've been fighting that battle for quite a while around here, but we'll get there.
Well, I'm glad that you came tonight.
I'm glad I did too, and I gotta say, you got some good dance moves going.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Rasputin,
Yes.
Yeah, you got better moves than I got, I tell you.
Thank you. Well, there's some Americans go. Wonder who has the moves? Is it Trump or is it Queen Romana?
Yeah.
Or is,
Trump's got some good ones too. He's got the fist pumps.
Mm-hmm. That's right. March. Today's March the 2nd, right?
Yes.
Well,
I'll have to learn Rasputin on my guitar.
did you?
Dedicated to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure to post that,
Yeah.
on the Telegram. There you go. you.
All right, thank you very much.